It was Christmas Eve in Modesto, California. And the day was filled with the warmth of the holiday spirit. Families were gathering, lights shimmered on front porches. And in one home everything was about to change. By nightfall a single 911 call shattered the silence. What started as a simple missing person report would become one of the most haunting investigations in modern history. Soon suspicion turned toward the man she loved. They have a picture-perfect life, but behind that life, there is so much pain and so many secrets, along with a truth that is darker than anyone could have imagined. What really happened that day?
She is 8 months pregnant. It's a quiet Christmas Eve and she never came back. Her husband, calm, smiling. He cried for help in front of millions, but those tears? Soon, the world would discover a trail of lies, and about secret lover, also a chilling betrayal that would shock the whole nation. December 24, 2002. On camera, Scott looked like a heartbroken husband. He cried, he pleaded for help. He joined the search, but something fell off. His tears didn't seem real, his words didn't feel honest, and soon, the cracks began to show. The world started to wonder. Was this really a desperate husband? Or was he hiding something all along? At first glance, Scott Peterson had it all. A charming smile, a stable job, a beautiful wife. Laci Rocha was warm, full of life, and 8 months pregnant with their son, Connor. In Modesto, California, they were the picture of happiness. It was almost Christmas. Laci was decorating the house. The tree was up. The gifts were wrapped. Hope was in the air. But behind closed doors, something was unraveling. Because Scott was already planning a life without them. Christmas Eve 2002. Laci Peterson vanished. Scott said she went out to walk the dog. But neighbors saw the dog. Alone, wandering, leash still on. No sign of Laci. As her family panicked, Scott grew distant. He didn't help with the search. He didn't cry. He sold her car and started flirting with other women. To America, it felt cold, but the truth was colder. In January, everything changed. A woman named Amber Frey came forward. She'd been dating Scott for weeks. He told her he was a widower, even before Laci disappeared. The nation was stunned. Scott had lied about everything. Police started watching him, following him, wiretapping his calls. And the more they listened, the clearer it became. Scott wasn't grieving. He was hiding something. 4 months later, April 2003, 2 bodies washed up on the shore of San Francisco Bay, a woman and a fetus. It was Laci and baby Connor. They were found just miles from where Scott claimed he went fishing. The next day, police arrested him. Bleached hair, $15,000 in cash, camping gear, his brother's ID. Was he running from the truth, or planning to vanish for good? In 2004, Scott Peterson stood trial, accused of killing his wife and unborn son. There was no smoking gun, no confession, just lies, a secret affair, cold behavior, and 2 bodies found in the bay. But for the jury, it was enough. Scott was found guilty, sentenced to death. Outside the courtroom, people cheered, but the story wasn't over, not even close. How does a man with everything end up here? Psychologists called Scott's behavior narcissistic. He craved freedom, a new life, no wife, no child, no responsibility. His calm voice in interviews, his blank expression, some said it was chilling. But here's the truth. Grief doesn't look the same for everyone. And sometimes, appearances can lie. In 2020, Scott's death sentence was overturned. Why? Juror misconduct. One juror had hidden her past. She was once a victim of domestic violence. Now, the Los Angeles Innocence Project is on the case. They say there's new evidence, claims of a flawed investigation, ignored witnesses, and maybe actual innocence. So now the question is, could Scott Peterson walk free? And if he does, what does justice really mean? This case didn't just shock America, it changed it. Laci and Connor's law was born, recognizing unborn children as victims of violent crime. It changed how trials were watched, court TV, live streams, headlines 24/7. And it changed how we judge guilt. Do we trust the facts or the way someone looks on camera? Because Scott Peterson's story isn't just about murder. It's about truth. It's about justice and how fragile both can be. Was Scott Peterson a cold-blooded killer or a victim of a broken justice system and a public desperate for someone to blame? One thing is certain. Laci and Connor's memory still lives on, and the questions still haunt us. Subscribe to MindTrace Crime for real stories, deeper analysis, and the psychology behind the world's most haunting crimes. Because this isn't just crime, this is the human mind at its darkest.